Special thanks to all our patrons who support the show every single week. Patrons, you keep the Run, Eat, Drink podcast going, and we're so grateful for all the support you give and the community that you've helped us to build. Not a patron yet? Join us today. Head over to patreon.com/runeatdrinkpodcast or buymeacoffee.com/runeatdrinkpod and subscribe for bonus content, social media shoutouts, and much more. Help support our show by using our Amazon affiliate link anytime you shop on Amazon for running gear, food, beverages, or anything else the little gray trucks might bring your way. Just use runeatdrink.net/Amazon anytime you shop. There's no additional cost. It's just one bonus click to help us keep the lights on and the bandwidth flowing. Go to runeatdrink.net/Amazon. And we thank you for your support.
I am Marco Cesero, and you are listening to Run, Eat, Drink Podcast.
Welcome to the Run, Eat, Drink podcast. We feature destination races from across the country. And after the race, we take you on a tour of the best local food and beverage to celebrate. So whether you are an elite runner or a back of the packer like us, you'll know the best places to accomplish, explore, and indulge on your next runcation. Hey, welcome to episode 305. It's the 305 of the Run, Eat, Drink podcast. I'm your host, Aimee, flying solo. This fine episode, 305. Isn't that a Miami area code? I should have run a race in Miami for this one. Oh, let me know. But I didn't. I went on a wonderful daycation stay near to homecation run, which I'll get into in this episode. I went to Siesta Key and did a run for the turtles. And then I had some fantastic seafood at the Lobster Pot. I capped off a wonderful day in Siesta Key at the Siesta Key Rum Distillery tour. So I was not in Miami, but I had a wonderful beach daycation nonetheless. And before I tell you about that, we need to do some shout outs. Everyone who completed the springtime surprise races. We saw pictures of the Will Run For crew, Sherry, aka Runs in a Skirt, Kelli Bickering at Wonderlust and Pretzel Dust, Jen Kim, and so many others, including an awesome face. There was a social media post of Jeff Galloway just chilling in front of the castle, deep in thought. And I just have to go back and read all the captions about that. He is America's coach and my coach as I'm making my way back to 5K and beyond. And we had major FOMO watching everybody at the springtime surprise races. All of the costumes were great. Stephanie Humphrey, you and your munchkin, you all were adorable. And congratulations to everybody who was there. I really wanted to be there, but I had a wonderful weekend in Siesta Key while you had an incredible time in Orlando. If you want shout outs for yourself or someone you know, it could be trying a new food. It could be trying a new beverage. It could be a major promotion at work. We like to celebrate all accomplishments here at the Run, Eat, Drink podcast. Email us. Attach a little video or not video, but audio recording. Attach a little audio recording and send it to info@runeatdrink.net. About 30 seconds to a minute, and we can make you Runcation Nation famous. Let's celebrate each other. You can call and leave a message, and we can play that voicemail. And that's at 941-677-2733. That's 941-677-2733. 888-888-3333. Now, before we talk running, I really have to tell you, I have been bookending my day with very important routine and ritual. I've been thinking a lot about, as I head on back to 5K and 10K distances and beyond, it's been hard to come back. To be honest, really not wanting to get out of bed a lot of the time. I've been thinking a lot about how important the start of my day is and how the end of my day and how I wind down and how I sleep has an impact on that, on how I start the next day. I was listening to a podcast episode with Mel Robbins. The new book she's got out is called The Let Them Theory. She was talking about a bedtime routine. When I reach for Magic Mind mental performance shots to start my day, along with my coffee, it helps me gain clarity. It helps me get going, keep going, avoid the energy crash. Taking their shots at the end of my day, the sleep shots. They're lavender colored and they have lavender in them. They have ashwagandha for relaxation, lemon balm, chamomile, and 5-HTP for falling asleep. And for sleep quality, they have kava, they have magnesium glycinate. And I can tell you that after using both the mental performance shot and then the sleep shot at the end of the day, I even had enough energy to go to a 7 p.m. hot yoga class in the middle of the week. And usually I'm in bed by I'm in bed at 8 and I have been lately. I love that it's not a quick fix that takes you on a roller coaster, feeling really up and then down. It takes the time it needs to make consistent changes in the way that you feel. Helps with stress, has all natural ingredients. Their sleep performance shot, it's so good. That magnesium for calming the nervous system and relaxing the muscles. And it doesn't make me groggy in the morning. It's not when you have a cold and you take some cold medicine and it can linger in the morning. Not like that at all. So I love that Magic Mind has expanded into this arena of wellness because I really think sleep is so important to training and to overall wellness in your life. I really am appreciative to the folks at Magic Mind because they've given us a limited time offer that you can use right now to get up to 48% off your subscription or 20% off a one-time purchase. You can go to magicmind.com/redpod20, REDPOD20, magicmind.com/redpod20. Or if you're at magicmind.com, you can enter the code in the discount code box, REDPOD. We really thank Magic Mind for sponsoring this week's show. Let's talk running and the 39th annual Run for the Turtles on Siesta Key Beach. And when I say on the beach, entirely, 100% on the beach. You pick up your packet as you arrive at Siesta Key Beach. And that is really the only part that is not on sand. The race took place about 8 o'clock in the morning. I got there between 7:30 and 7:45. There's free parking at the beach, and it's just a gorgeous beach. It has a playground set up and some shelters like a park. It also has a great place to get food and beverage called the Sun Deck right by the parking lot. So that is where packet pickup was. There was a mini health fair expo with some other races and mascots, and it was a really smooth packet pickup. And then you get out on the beach and the soft sand is your way out there to the hard packed sand and the start of the 39th annual Run for the Turtles. And it's all about those turtles that are nesting in the sand and trying to make it to the water once they're born. We didn't get to see any turtles firsthand, but we did get to see video at one of the expo or morning pickup booths at the health fair. There was a little quiz where you could lift up a question and see the answer and different fun facts about the turtles. It was nice. They had coffee set up and they had apples, bananas, bagels. And did I mention coffee? Oh, yes. They had coffee and orange slices. And it was just fantastic. They had age group awards. There were no finisher medals, but there were age group ribbons and medals for people who placed in the top 6. There's a bottle refill station and you can use one of their refillable bottles or bring your own. We might have an interview coming up later on this month with a founder of one of their reusable bottles with a filter. Just a fabulous little bottle product that I think we're going to use again and again. I filled mine with water and I headed out to the start and I just barely made it across the finish, across the start line at the tail end to start the race. It's entirely on the beach. Entirely on the beach. So I know that will have an impact on what you wear, how you dress. The weather was not that humid, so I can see why they have it in April. In March, April, you don't have as high humidity as you do in the later months in Florida. It was just gorgeous weather. The ocean is right there. Just beautiful sea salt smell. You can see the birds, pick up some seashells, which I did, which served as my little finisher medal. I found a little shell that I loved that I kept. The 5K was just a turnaround. So it was entirely on the beach. And you might want to wear old shoes. You might want to wear some of those 5-finger shoes. I wore some older Brooks that I knew I could just wash out and let dry. The volunteers at the one water stop where you have the turnaround, they had you can refill your bottle, or they had little cups that they gave you. And then there was a trash can right there. So there was no trash on the beach. The sky was beautiful and there was no pressure at all in this race. People are waving at you as they're playing and laughing with their families on the beach, dancing in the sand and making sand castles. And one was like an alligator or a crocodile sand castle on the way back after the turnaround. It was just gorgeous. And what a beautiful day. I just remember being so filled with gratitude about being able to take some time. I don't know if anybody else has that kind of impact when you're out on the beach. You smell the sea air, and if you had your shoes off, you would have your toes in the sand, and it's so low stress and peaceful. I hear from certified yoga teachers that it's good for your stability to do some running and walking in the sand. So I did that for myself. I crossed the finish line. I took a picture. I felt some accomplishment. I hung around for some of the awards. The shirts were great tech t-shirts, bright orange. And I saw some in the previous years were maroon, were yellow, were that kind of tealish. And then it had all the sponsors on the back and then a turtle outlined on the front. I really like the fit of the ladies' shirt. It'll be great as we get into the summer months with longer runs. I'll be visible, maybe the color of a traffic cone, but it's not that bad. I liked it. And it felt good. Very nice material. So I am definitely keeping that shirt. I think a turtle could be our mascot here at the Run, Eat, Drink Podcast Towers, because I run as slow as a turtle trying to wade through thick sand. And the post-run experience was just wonderful. I stayed around, had some coffee and orange slices, applauded the runners, took some pictures for runners that placed and got medals. for being top 3 in their age groups. I met a lot of great people smiling and clapping, cheering me on the beach and introducing themselves to me during the little after party. I also took pictures with the mascots, Gilly and Shelly. And Shelly was the turtle. And then Gilly, it's just adorable. And it's the Moat Marine Laboratory that this race is backed by and benefits from. The 40th anniversary could be a wonderful Runcation Nation kind of meetup. And really it aligned with the springtime surprise races. So I actually went to wash up in the restroom and a woman was changing to get in the car to go to Disney right after the race. So Sarasota it's got its own airport. It is beautiful. There are a lot of Airbnbs and a lot of hotels around that area in Siesta Key. And they have a trolley in addition to Uber and Lyft, and so many places to get food and beverage to celebrate your accomplishments. I cannot recommend this race enough. If it aligns with any other race, I would love to go up the night before and stay and have a nice meal, a nice hearty meal, and then do the 5K and spend some time on the beach, then have a lovely night in town with dinner and beverages and go back home rejuvenated. Anybody who wants to join me next year is certainly welcome. info@runeatdrink.net. Let me know. We'll make a plan. It's the 40th anniversary of the Run for the Turtles, so why wouldn't we go? It was great. I highly recommend. And now, all this talk of running, it's made me so hungry. And if you get Dana alone for 5 minutes, he will talk about how I love all things seafood in terms of shrimp, crab, oysters, and the like. I have been craving some crab legs. I like snow crab. Alaskan King Crab is really where it's at for me. I did some research around the Siesta Key area. I probably could have walked there from the free parking at the beach and then come back and spend some time on the beach after the meal. There's also pay by QR code parking all around the restaurants in town. There are Italian restaurants. There's ice cream. It's like a little beach town and it's so quaint. It's so cute. I found doing some research about ratings and reviews that a place called the Lobster Pot in Siesta Key, which was 5 minutes from the beach, has excellent crab. Excellent Alaskan King Crab. So off I went. And the timing was about perfect. Once I got done at the post-race party, then I could get in the car, go find parking. At the time, I should have just walked there, honestly. But I found parking. It was not really a problem to find parking. And by the time I found the parking, the restaurant was actually just then opening. It was maybe 11:30 or so. So 11:45. So I walked in and I was one of the first people there. And it's like a fish house or a seafood house. A very rustic, oldies feel, but super clean. The bar was great. They had taps from Calusa Brewing, which we featured on the show with Mobs to Lobster. And Mango Cart they had on tap. They had and some of the stables as well. They had their own house-made sangria, red sangria, and they had a full bar. So you could have anything you want in terms of beverage. There's lobster bisque, which I ended up bringing home for Dana and for me. I ordered, the first thing I said to Dominick, who was an amazing server, I said, what is the house specialty? What should I not leave until I get? And he said, far and away, it's either the boil or the king crab. I said, sign me up for the king crab because that is what I had been waiting for. Those were music to my ears. So Alaskan king crab I got, and I got 2 sides to go with it. And they have just those standard seafood house sides. I got coleslaw and mac and cheese. And the mac and cheese was a white mac and cheese. And they also had mashed potatoes and greens. So you could have any of that, but I had coleslaw and mac and cheese. The Alaskan king crab, I really thought, okay, at every place where I have ever been, having Alaskan king crab requires a lot of work. And anybody who was in the Runcation Nation that went to Gasparilla and then went out to eat with me, Susie, Jojo, Dawn, Christy, Greg, Jesse, Darlene, and the whole crew, you all got to see firsthand how I just go to town. And I know that I'm trying to get every little bit of crab out of the shell. A lot of people don't like to order it that way because they think it's work. And it is work. But if it's done, it's worth it. And what I mean by it's done, it's served with drawn butter and lots of lemon. And it's not steamed until it's rubbery. My trick is to take all the crab and get it out of the shell first when it's hot and pliable. What was amazing when it came to the table was it was pre-cracked for me. All I had to do was separate along the lines where it had been cracked and remove these huge chunks of amazing crab. So tender, so flavorful, that brininess of the sea, the lemon and the butter, and it was just meaty but not chewy. Alaskan king crab is not as flaky as snow crab. When you have stone crab, which is in season from October to May, it's more solid. Alaskan king crab is between the snow crab and stone crab consistency in terms of meatiness. It was tender. It was hot. Even after, because what I do is make them bring me extra butter, and I use a bigger bowl, and I get everything out of the claws and into the butter, and then I squeeze lemon over top and eat it the first moment that you taste it. It is just seafood perfection, shellfish perfection. The coleslaw was just your standard house coleslaw, but it had that tangy dressing. And the mac and cheese was the white mac and cheese. Add salt and pepper, and it's perfection. And a bonus, when I said to Dominick, listen, what do I need to take home to the husband? He said, lobster bisque, 100%. So I got 2 large bowls to go. Creamy, buttery, lobster broth or stock goodness. It was amazing to have later on when I got home with Dana. And his recommendation was spot on with the beverage too. As we head into the beverage portion of our show, I got the house-made sangria. It was red sangria. It was sweet. It was not dry. It came with all the fruits in the glass. And I loved that Dominick left a straw, served it in a wine glass. And it was cool. It was refreshing, light, and I just loved it. The one mistake I did make is not to ask what red base they use, like a Cabernet or Merlot, but it was sweet and it's not dry. So take my word for it. If you like sweet red sangria, you should give it a try for sure. But the local beers they have on tap, great stuff. And I stayed hydrated, and I had them bring me some San Pellegrino. All in all, I will tell you, the Lobster Pot in Siesta Key, 5 stars, fabulous service, amazing food. And that's everything you want in a meal after an accomplishment like a 5K run for the turtles. I talked about the sangria at the restaurant, but I have 3 words for you, Runcation Nation. You've explored local fantastic eats. Now, 3 words. Free rum tour. Siesta Key Rum has a free tour, and they have 3 in the day. I signed up for the midday one, the 1 o'clock one. It's about a 40-minute tour. I arrived at 1. I should have come about maybe 10, 15 minutes early, but that's okay. I got what I missed in that 15-minute window before the tour, after the tour. Either way, they took great care of me. There were maybe 10, 15 people in the tour, and they gave me a tiny plastic cup of their toasted coconut rum. I understand why it is an award-winning rum. It is got that toasty, caramelly, toasty sweetness, but it's not overly caramelly. About toasted coconut being different than just the sweetness of the raw coconut. I had a bit of that to sip on while I listened to Kevin and another gentleman deliver an amazing tour and show us the stills and the process they go through to make their silver rum, their flagship rum. So smooth and dangerous. Kevin's customer service manager invited us to come back and chat about the history of Siesta Key Rum, its connection to the community. Kevin Maroney, customer experience manager there, invited us to come back and sit down and chat with him about what makes it so special, ties to the community, the history. We're there for it. And I'm going to tell you right now, Wicked Dolphin is amazing here in Cape Coral. And the coconut rum that we've had from there, simply awesome. The key lime rum, terrific. We brought home some of the toasted coconut, the silver, and their coffee rum from Siesta Key. Just fantastic, natural flavor, smooth. It's just perfection. And when I asked Kevin which cocktail that we should talk about, he looked for a long time, because after the tour, you come back into their area where they have their retail, they have shot glasses, shirts, and their rum. So I was asking, what drink should we feature during the beverage portion of our show? They have all these recipes on their website. You can make a caramel apple rum tini, a Siesta Key lime pie, a Siesta Key kick and punch, a cocoa nutty brew, the Great Pumpkin cocktail. The Great Pumpkin cocktail is a play on Charlie Brown special for Halloween. Cucumber jalapeno rumrito, which is spicy. They let us have a little sip of that, and it packs a punch. There's a Siesta Key watermelon agua fresca, just delightful. You can see their recipes, and one of their still is named Carl. It's just terrific. But so I asked him which one I should feature, and he said, you should feature the Sarasota Mai Tai. So that's what I ordered at the end of the tour to taste. And so it's Siesta Key toasted coconut rum, Siesta Key spiced rum, which is, oh my gosh, it's like the mulled wine spices in a rum. Oh, so good. So good. Pineapple juice, orange juice, orgeat, which is almond syrup, and grenadine. And I'm going to tell you, the Sarasota Mai Tai, it was coming to me, and Kevin said, here is the Mai Tai. It's not my Tai anymore. It's your Tai now. And I just thought, your Tai, my Tai, it's our Tai. But it was delightful, flavorful, and delicious. I highly recommend that. Spiced rum, just on its own as a sipper. So good. You can make some kind of Christmassy or holiday-like beverage with it. I really need to think about that. It's fantastic. They have some aged rums sometimes after the tour that are left from specialty barrels. They have some partnerships with some local breweries. where they will give aged rums. They'll give you some Distiller's Reserve or maple syrup barrel spiced, or they'll have some that are not necessarily that you can take home, but they're left from special editions that you could try in their infinity room. It's amazing. The bar is just fantastic. And they have a quote where they're barrel aging some rum that says, "It's not drinking on the job, it's research." And I thought that was great. And that is apparently from someone who passed away, unfortunately, but was just amazing as part of their staff there. They have a tiki vibe. The Infinity Room is the tiki bar. And they have a sign up, "Time flies when you're having rum." It's a fantastic vibe there and delicious rum. The silver you could put with Coke, like a whole rum and Coke vibe. And it's like you're tasting just Coke. So it's dangerous. You got to be careful and make sure that you have a designated driver or you're not leaving the house. It's just good. It's just good. And they took care of us. They made sure everybody was going to get home safely. And it was all in moderation. What can I say about Siesta Key Rum? Stay tuned for more about their amazing product and history later on within the coming weeks. And yeah, I loved our Thai. It's not a Mai Tai. It's your Thai, but it's our Thai. And it was fantastic. So Siesta Key, cheers. Thanks for taking such great care of me on the tour. I met some incredible people there, and it was just a wonderful daycation, runcation. I wish it were longer, because once you put your toes in the sand, you have a little bit of local seafood from a local establishment that is cooked right, and you have some delicious locally made rum. Oh, that is a day to remember and to enjoy while you have it and to be grateful for. So thanks to everybody who made this staycation, runcation, this Run for the Turtles, an amazing opportunity for me. And that's a wrap. And don't forget that we have a limited time offer that you can use right now that gets you up to 48% off your first subscription or 20% off a one-time purchase with code REDPOD, REDPOD at checkout, or you can go to magicmind.com/redpod20. Get the healthy boost with Magic Mind's mental performance shot and our discount too. It's a small and simple addition to your daily routine. It helps you stay focused, mentally clear, motivated, productive, reduces stress, and you get 100% of your daily vitamin C and D in each of their mental performance shot. That's the morning one per bottle. So get out there and get some and take advantage of the discount right now. Thanks to everybody at Magic Mind, Stacy and Grace, for giving us this opportunity to pass on the savings and the discount to the Runcation Nation. Once again, thank you and stay tuned for more. In the coming weeks, we will have running icons. We will have inspirational stories. We'll have more local runs. We'll have more premier Runcation recaps from the Runcation Nation. We thank you for joining us on your long run, your commute to work, around the house, or wherever you are in 2025. I'm your host, Aimee. Stay safe and well, and we will accomplish, explore, and indulge with you really soon. That's a wrap. So thank you for joining us on your long run, your commute to work, around the house, wherever you are. I'm your host, Aimee.
And I'm your co-host, Dana.
Stay safe and well, and we will accomplish, explore, and indulge with you really soon.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Run, Eat, Drink podcast. We're having another great year thanks to your support. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We're at Run, Eat, Drink Podcast. And on Twitter, we're Run, Eat, Drink Pod. You can also give us a call at 941-677-2733 or send us an email at info@runeatdrink.net. Visit our website at runeatdrink.net and click on the subscribe link so you don't miss a minute. Find out how you can support the show at patreon.com/runeatdrinkpodcast. Accomplish, explore, and indulge right along with us. We'll talk to you next time.